Hey guys, welcome back to our Season 4 discussion of She-Ra, Princesses of Power. I'm David.
I'm GC13, and I have finished watching Season 4 as of yesterday.
Yeah, GC's crazy. I'm Sophia. I was about to be like, Princesses of Power? What are you talking about? It is Princesses. I thought it was Princess of Power. It's plural. Holy... I've been reading it wrong in my head since the show came out.
Hey, you got it in Season 4 out of 5. Not too bad.
I want to take us right to the end of the series, because this is the thought I just had. You had me when you mentioned Hordak's fate in our discussion of Seasons 2 and 3. You had me thinking he had it much worse off than he actually did end up getting. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, no, Entrapta, you can still save him. Go get him.
I don't know. I mean, is he just completely reset, though? He was going to get re-educated, and whatever chemical got injected into him from Horde Prime looked like it already did most of the work of re-education. So I feel bad for the guy. I mean, we saw his tears in this season. He was so hurt from finding out the truth about Entrapta.
David's developing crush on Hordak.
No, David, you have to believe that Entrapta's going to be able to save him with the power of liking someone a lot.
Yeah, right? It's that. Here's the thing. Like, when you get mind-wiped in a piece of media, it's never permanent. Never. We saw it in the Steven Universe movie.
The stakes are always lowered when mind-wiping happens, because you already know
right?
It's going to get resolved. But, I mean, yeah, we saw Entrapta, how hurt she was. Not just from losing Hordak, but from losing other friends, too. She just feels really hurt from being left so many times. I don't know, I feel like there's more for her character, because her getting reintroduced with the princesses, I feel like there's still more work to happen there. Kind of like how we had to spend some time with Scorpia and her actually getting integrated with the good guys. That also felt like taking in nursing a sick puppy back to health from like the shelter, because oh my gosh, Scorpia needed so much love and attention that she had not received her entire life.
She's never eaten a vegetable.
I mean, there's probably vegetables mixed in their ration bars, but like never eaten a raw, unprocessed vegetable. Which is like, that's not a great thing to introduce Scorpia to like natural foods. Like, you could have given her a strawberry. Like, sometimes I'll be like overcome with this like savage energy and suddenly want to eat like a whole head of lettuce, but I'm not eating it like just raw. Like, I'm sprinkling dressing on it as I go. That's in my very low moments. I'm not usually Of all the things you could have given Scorpia to bring her over to the side of light and goodness, you brought her a salad?
Look, it was a gesture of friendship from Perfuma. Like, that's the most authentic gift she could have given her. Beyond a flower, which she already gave her.
Yeah, I suppose it would have looked pretty.
I really like that they brought back the fact that Bright Moon just has no prisons, no holding cells.
Oh, that is a constant running joke, and I absolutely love it.
Scorpia's just like, this is where you're going to hold me? They're like, it's the spare room. I get the sensation that no one actually lives in Bright Moon, though. Like, they really never established that it's like a kingdom. It's just like a palace.
Yeah.
And there's no one who lives there.
No, because in the first season, in the first couple episodes of the first season, you see she's out, there's like stables and there's buildings. It's not like the castle, it's off to the side.
Yeah, but how do we know that that's Bright Moon and not a village adjacent to Bright Moon? Like, they never call anytime we go to Bright Moon, it's always Bright Moon Palace or Bright Moon Castle, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, because that's where the things are happening. But like when Adora snuck out to do some training, like that's where the people were and living.
It does have a high count of criminals that we now trust.
Shadow Weaver.
I think Shadow Weaver's true colors came out a little bit at the end when the plan changed to, Glimmer was like, I need to get Scorpia to the Black Garnet, and we saw how immediately Shadow Weaver reacted to that and immediately changed her tune. I think her motivation was really revealed to be, again, back to that like simpler notion of just, if I can't be the most powerful person, I at least want to be serving the most powerful person. But I think she likes being that coy and reserved person just hanging around and, pissing off Adora.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely biding her time.
I got the impression, actually, that she had not been manipulating Glimmer at all. She was acting as a genuine counselor to her. She did completely botch the whole, what would your mother do, which is the wrong button to press in Glimmer, by the way.
Don't bring my mother into this.
So obviously, the season featured just huge relationship shifts, the biggest being between Glimmer and Adora. And part of that was fed by the fact that they both received basically different sets of information throughout the course of the season and trusted different people. Glimmer obviously built a relationship and built trust in Shadow Weaver, and Adora and Bo went down the path of learning all about Etheria's dark secrets and the first ones, and they were never able to reconcile those differences in sets of facts, and it ended up making Glimmer just straight up wrong, which Bo called her out on, which is crazy. It was just such a raw moment.
Yeah, there was a lot in this season. Like, holy cow. Like, we get Double Trouble really going for it.
We don't get actually a lot of development. They mostly just act as a way to drive the plot forward, and obviously they're entertaining with their whole acting angle, and I think the closest moments you get to like understanding exactly what their motivation is or what drives them to do what they do, besides like actually money, is weirdly enough just an actual dedication to the craft of acting. Like, they just actually care about acting.
This Double Trouble is the character Littlefinger from Game of Thrones done right. Like, they're not a sexual predator, and they're not like conniving and creepy. They're like really fun and loves acting and loves money, but also kind of just loves the drama of it all. Like, the need for drama is very strong with them. Also,
I heard GC sign in the background, and I know GC really hates conflict, and...
No, that is not true. I enjoyed Double Lift's work at the end when we're finally getting to see Hordak try to kill Catra. That was beautiful. What I did not enjoy, however, was sowing the seeds of animosity between BFFs, Glimmer, and Adora. Not cool, Double Lift.
It needed to happen. Glimmer has been fighting the Horde her whole life. The Horde killed her father, supposedly, and then her mother disappears, and she has to take the throne and has all this responsibility and this pressure that she didn't really have. She says, like, I will do anything to win. And at first you're like, well, yeah, that makes sense. You don't want the Horde to win. That'd be pretty bad. But then she kind of
goes off the rails.
Yeah, she focuses so much on not letting the Horde win that she kind of doesn't allow herself to see the big picture.
But no, what really gets me the most about that confrontation is when she's like, hey, why don't she several times says, just go and get Lighthope to tell you just enough. And it's like, you know Lighthope's a computer program, right? She does what she's been told to by the people whose sole purpose is making that weapon go off.
Yeah. Like, one back thing on Glimmer's character is that she is operating as queen under a huge shadow. Like, her mother has been reigning, for God knows how long, and has been, according to Glimmer, has been dignified and respected the whole time, and feels like she should automatically be up at that level, not kind of realizing that you have to work towards that respect and dignity and self-confidence. And she feels like people should treat her like how they treated her mom right off the bat. You have to get the British accent, and then they'll respect you.
This is not your chair.
Yeah, and also Lighthope. I loved what they did with her character, which was, a sort of cliche, like, robot developing free will sort of thing, but it became really touching in the way that they handled that. And did Lighthope die at the end of this?
It sure seemed like the computer running Lighthope died. Can the idea of software really ever die? I don't know, but I think that Lighthope, that version, is not going back online.
They probably don't have BitTorrent on Etheria.
Yeah, it was interesting with Lighthope how she considered Mara her friend, and what happened to Lighthope that made her wipe her own memory and suddenly turn against Mara.
Well, it's not. It's that the first ones apparently purposefully corrupted her software, is what happened. Or they purposefully rewrote her.
Now, I have a question. I have a question about the Heart of Etheria project. How good do you think the odds are that the enemy that was meant to destroy was related to the rise of, Horde Prime? I mean, I think it's a narrative slam dunk.
Yeah.
You mean the fact that they shouldn't have destroyed the weapon because it actually was useful in the first place?
I do think that they're going to say that had Mara allowed Etheria to be sacrificed, Horde Prime never would have ravaged the universe. That's what I'm assuming is going to be revealed in Season 5.
Well, and the first ones might necessarily have at one point been the good guys, but they were kind of like Glimmer going to any lengths to save the Horde. So to them, sacrificing one planet to save the whole universe might have been a worthwhile sacrifice.
Well, it wasn't just killing the planet, though. I thought the idea of the weapon was that it was going to, like, I think it's Adora who talks about seeing the stars and saying all of those stars, those are also other places where other beings exist, and they would all be wiped out by this weapon.
Well, it's not explicitly stated yet what the weapon was going to be used for, right? So they just see big, huge super weapon capable of destroying lots and lots of lives, and they just think it's going to be used randomly. Like, I don't think they put two and two together that it was probably going to be used for the Horde. My question is that, why did they let a literal child who couldn't be older than 8 join the war?
That is a very good question.
It never makes sense because Flutterina never displays any powers. Like, she's not a princess.
Can she even fly?
And she never really displays fighting prowess.
Yeah, Flutterina never should have known anything. I mean, like, maybe if Double Mint was shape-shifting around the castle and finding out information that way. But no, Double Mint was finding everything out as Flutterina. Why are they telling this to Flutterina? It makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like, if this was like Avatar and they were actually all 12, 13, 14 years old, it would make sense. But they're actually in their probably 20s-ish.
Yeah, they're all pushing 20. And Flutterina's like 7. Right. It's just like, if she could fly, maybe. Her name is Flutter, and she can't.
So, Mermysteries. Ooh, I like all the book titles we get in this one.
Of all the Mermysteries. Or Mermysteries.
Well, here's the thing. Did Mermista write Mermysteries?
She's talking them up. No, I think she's just a true fan. Yeah, Bo's breakdown in this was amazing. Very in character. Or was it? I don't know. He just actually believes that he might have an alternative self that is sabotaging everything.
Every time I go on a plane and I go through airport security, through TSA, I'm always like, oh god, what if I, like, have a knife or a gun or something, and I don't know.
Right. You're like, I've never had a knife or gun on me in my entire life, but maybe there's one on me right now.
The second people start investigating me, I'm like, oh god, what if I'm guilty? And I have zero reason to think that.
You don't know that!
So you know what? I identify with Bo a little bit.
Boys Night Out is it the standout episode of the season? As far as, maybe not, there's some lore heavy or just, plot important episodes that happen, but I really enjoyed this. Was a super entertaining episode of She-Ra.
It was, the song was wonderful.
Yes, so Vella Lovell, who played Heather on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, like, I loved that show, and that was a very musical show. So hearing her sing as Mermista here in her...
the rock remix was beautiful, because when Seahawk did his shanty in the bar, he said hit it, and they showed that we have an accordion player here. So whatever the word for music that's coming from something in the show, that was that. And then since they had Mermista do her rock remix, I choose to believe that there was a ship following just off camera with somebody wailing on the guitar like it's Mad Max Fury Road. And that is beautiful.
There's someone strapped to the bow of the ship. I am a little bit shocked, David, that you see Boys Night Out is the standout episode for this season, but for me, it's absolutely Hero.
Okay,
Boys Night Out was hilarious, right? But Hero, every time I think about this season, I'm like, because it gives Mara so much characterization, like Adora being so frustrated with her, now feels almost mean, right?
Right.
And she's not just a kooky old lady who's like being crazy just to mess with people. Like, no, she's genuinely like flipping between past and present and has no control over it and is just trying to take it in stride. And that's just like so heartbreaking. Ugh. And then Mara, who was just like, we had no idea who this person was, and then she turned out to be like this sweetheart.
Okay, the transformation sequence was so epic. I loved seeing someone else besides, Adora transform, and
yeah, it looks like the blonde hair, blue eyes Styx So people who were like, oh, what if Catra was chosen as She-Ra? What if, so-and-so was chosen as She-Ra? Yeah, they would still have blonde hair and blue eyes.
I mean, my takeaway from this episode, though, was actually the fact that Adora isn't She-Ra because she's the first one wielding the Sword of Protection. Adora is She-Ra because Etheria wants her to be She-Ra, and therefore she has the power of She-Ra, and this will become important later.
I am really interested to know, this episode showed us that the first ones are really, really bad. They were at least at the same level of super evil as the Horde 1,000 years ago. So what happened to them when Etheria went away? Was that a super important project for them? Did they end up getting wiped out by the Horde? Obviously not, I guess, since some family had Adora. But is her family nice? If she meets her family in season 5, are they going to be cool people or really lame people?
The introduction of Horde Prime. He was what I was kind of thinking Hordak would be.
Gentlemanly.
Right? This cunning, charismatic, but deeply unnerving villain. But Hordak turned out to be kind of a soft boy, a little bit. Edgy most of the time, though.
Yeah, his moment was brief, but what we got from him interacting with Hordak was really important, because when he probed Hordak's mind, he brought up the fact that Hordak, besides the fact that Hordak's developed his own identity, there was even, he says, there was a time you wished I wouldn't come at all, which is huge for Hordak's character, that we learn that. And Horde Prime, it's such a problem for him, he has it built into his hair that he can reset any of his clones anytime.
It's like an Avatar, the Blue People movie thing. Just interesting.
I hope that's not what he did with his little brother.
That's right. That's what they. Oh God.
Are they like the Centauri from Babylon 5
No. They bond with the horses in the game, and it's nothing like that.
You're right. It's bonding. For some reason, truth. I never actually watched Avatar. I just somehow heard, the hair thing they do is like sex. Okay. So obviously, it's not that.
See, it's the Centauri from Babylon 5 where the tentacles are like sex, because it literally is.
Thank you, GC. I'll make sure to have to find a picture of that for this video.
I see Glimmer and Catra becoming reluctant friends, and this leading to Catra's redemption, because Catra has now truly and entirely hit complete rock bottom, which was what was necessary for her to finally be able to build herself back up again.
Yeah, so the double trouble moment was huge for her, actually getting told exactly what the problem was. But it actually hits her. She actually puts her head down, and she's like, I am such an awful person.
Yeah, this is how you make me like Dubba Stubba. You just get into a position where we're relentlessly mocking Catra. Put that love of causing discord and a general feeling of angst to good use. Use it against someone who needs it.
So, okay. I don't think Catra is sucking up to Horde Prime as another person in authority giving validation. I think
you think she's finally learned her lesson and she's actually trying to work the situation?
Yeah, she's very much trying to play a devil's bargain to, keep herself from being killed.
I think she's playing chess with the Grim Reaper right now, actually. I think that's her plan.
Versus just dying. So, you know,
I don't think she's... I think she's trying to win against an impossible situation.
Right. So I think this sort of sucking up to authority has got me nowhere. I don't think she's going to try and suck up to Horde Prime. She's obviously going to do it to keep herself alive, but I think she and Glimmer are very much going to... Because the looks they were exchanging were very meaningful and knowing. So I think she's trying to be we're in this together because this guy is clearly bad news. And we need to figure out how to get out of this alive. I'm very scared she's going to sacrifice herself. And she's going to die at the end of the season.
Oh,
to save
they
everybody,
always have
and
to
that's
do
going to
that,
be her
don't they?
redemption. I don't know. The show, that might be their big, impactful moment, but I don't think... I'm 50-50. They might go that way, they may not. I'm scared.
Or it's Hordak's moment. How would you, Sophia, would you really feel sad if it was Hordak himself who was the big sacrifice for the end of the show? Would that have an impact on you?
What did you say?
I feel bad for
our beautiful
you.
blue-haired man?
I feel bad for you.
Thank you.
Oh, but I'm ready. I'm not ready, but I'm ready.
Same. I am definitely not ready. So this is probably a good stopping point. Just so you know, listeners, Season 5 is definitely going to devastate all of us. So expect our thoughts on the final season to come out maybe a few weeks after it airs, which is May 15th, very soon. Until then,
I'm GC13.
I'm Sophia.
and I'm David.
Later, everybody.